IT Pro Revenge on Cheating Wife. Someone posted a story earlier that was a bit too close to a true story that I was involved in. I previously shared it as a comment in another sub and thought I'd share the real story. This took place before smartphones were omnipresent. I had a friend, we'll call him Bob, that was suspicious of his wife's social circle. One of her closest friends had been caught cheating and tried to throw her under the bus as well. Bob had no proof, and things settled down for a while. Bob was an IT professional and very good with PCs and networks. Nearly a year later, Bob's wife is acting shady again after her high school reunion. He confides in me, and we talk through some scenarios. He jokingly mentioned a keylogger. He finally asked me to just drop it, and most of all, don't tell anyone, not even your wife. A couple months pass, and I'm up early, 5:30-6, getting ready for work. I get a Facebook Messenger notification and see that I've been sent a link from Bob, but it's a group chat. It's literally everyone we know. Her family, his family, our friends, strangers, everyone. I didn't open it. It looked like a phishing link even though it came from him, who's extremely cautious. A short while later, I get an email from Bob with some ominous/unsavory comments and the same link. It's a group email with the recipients open copied, his wife's work, her family, her friends, his family, and other people I didn't know. I knew it was legitimate now, so I opened it. The link was to a hastily made website containing pictures and videos of his wife and another man. This wasn't hidden camera footage, it was screenshots, including video screen captures. Weeks worth of screenshots. He had captioned each item with snarky comments and colorful names for his wife and her lover. It was an embarrassing amount of evidence. Videos of her masturbating with her lover. Chat logs about how they can't wait to screw again. Solo masturbation videos of her and him. Tons of pictures. And the straw that broke the camel's back. Trash talking her husband to her lover. Comments about how much bigger and better he was. Her efforts to stroke her lover's ego were especially hurtful. I dropped what I was doing and called him. He was drunk and combative. He had been up all night making the website and drowning in liquor. Not one good word to say about women in general. He was extremely emotional, but after some work, I convinced him to take the website down before it did irreparable damage to his marriage, their careers, and his children. As he's sobbing and logging in to remove the website, I hear loud yelling as she bursts into the room. A screaming match ensues, and there's nothing I can do to pull him back. Apparently her mother or sister saw the page and blew up her phone until she woke up and answered. She saw the website and went on the offensive. The phone call drops after 30 seconds of her screaming while Bob is calling her a whore, and I can't contact him again. The website was still up for the rest of the day, and he was kind enough to put a view counter on it. Hundreds of people watched her masturbating with a married former classmate. Bob had done his homework. He installed a keylogger that records the whole screen. When he was out, she would log into the PC and her Facebook and play with her boyfriend. Bob had found her lover, his family, his wife's family, his job, etc. All these people were included in the Facebook and email groups. I do not know what became of her lover and his marriage, but I do know what happened to Bob's life. His wife was desperate to make amends. She tried and offered everything. In the end, it was her comments about her lover and his prowess that were her undoing. Bob tried to take her back, even after all his friends and family had seen her naked and cheating. But he couldn't get over the comments about his manhood. Bob eventually left her, gained about 100 pounds, and then finally moved as far away as possible and became a horrible human being. I have no idea what he's doing now, as he went scorched earth with most friendships and his family. She's gross and has a face shaped like a bowling ball now. Line forms at the rear. Story 2. I regret raising my siblings. My mom went to federal prison when I was 17. She had been in and out of county jail for my entire childhood. Never drugs or prostitution. It was always retail theft, bad checks, etc. She had 6 children with 5 different men. 3 boys, then 2 girls, and then 1 boy. I'm the oldest child, and she had me when she was almost 19. My youngest brother is 15 years younger than me. She committed mortgage bank fraud and spent almost 8 years in the feds. My grandma helped us but died when I was 20 years old, and she was also convicted of conspiracy for not cooperating against my mother and spent 9 months in a federal prison. She died 9 months later after her release. No other family to speak of that would help. I was able to gain full guardianship of my 2 brothers closest to me in age and one of my sisters. I maintained that guardianship for each of them until they were 18. My sister, however, was able to live with my mother for most of her teens because my mother was released by that time. My brothers, however, were over 18 or almost over 18 when she came home. For anonymity's sake, we'll call my brothers A and B and my sister C. My brother A is alive and well. He is employed, married to a nurse, owns a home, and has 2 children. Brother A sounds great, but there's a reason for my regret. Brother B is deceased. He was killed when he was 19 in 2016 by gunfire in a setup. He was killed by someone he called a friend who'd lured him there to sell him some weed. He had a girlfriend who was 5 months pregnant. She had the baby, my nephew. Brother A got Brother B's baby's mom pregnant a year and a half later, which gave me another nephew. Obviously, this did not go over well. Brother A was never in a relationship with her, nor did he intend to date her. Brother A didn't play a part in his child's life for the first year because of his wife, then girlfriend, and her disdain for the baby. Brother A was on drugs bad and very much lost in life. I was able to get him into rehab, and since he's gotten out of rehab, he's slowly cut off his family because his wife forces him to. Brother A even tried to have our nephew from our deceased brother and his son separated unless two adults were present. Brother A's wife and my wife do not get along, mainly because his wife is from a privileged background and we are not. There's a culture clash and a judgmental feeling in the air during every interaction. This is not just with my wife. Brother A's wife has this issue with our entire family. Our family still try to love and accept her. However, she isn't interested. Brother A and his wife have a daughter. My family isn't allowed to know her. He can't stop us knowing his son because his son's mother, remember she is a kid to our deceased brother too, is like a sister to my family, which only makes the situation worse. Brother A was well aware of all of this and acted as if she were a sister to him as well, but clearly he wanted more. Brother A has made up disgusting things about our deceased brother's 6-year-old son and had his lawyer put it in writing in an attempt to separate his son and nephew. Sister C is 18. She has a speech problem and is on the spectrum. However, she refuses to admit this as an adult. She does not work. She got her diploma online during COVID and cheated. She had Brother A's wife do all of the work for her. She got pregnant at 17. We did not find out about the father until well into her pregnancy. Sister C continually lied about her child's father's age. She gave multiple ages and names. Finally, we found out he is the same age as me, 14 years older than my sister in his 30s. She had the baby and within a month had a new boyfriend. She moved in with him. We had a major falling out over her lifestyle, her taking a newborn to a man's house she barely knows, etc. Sister C was involved in an incident between my other sister, herself, and my mother-in-law, in which the police were called. This incident resulted in Sister C messaging me and demanding I pay for her phone to be fixed. She had already gotten the front paid for and fixed by someone else. She was demanding I fix the back of her phone. When I refused, she tried to guilt me by saying I didn't care about my niece. She would miss doctor appointments, etc. because of this. Meanwhile, it was the back of her phone, and she was literally communicating with me on her phone. Sister C told me she knows more about being a parent because she has a baby and I don't have children of my own. Something you created, in her words. So my two current stepsons, who I've raised for the past 6 years, don't count because they're not my blood. My siblings, including her, who I struggled to provide for and raise, don't count because they're not my biological children. So I raised 3 kids. 1 is dead. The other 2, I don't even speak to. Honestly, the disappointment they fill me with has me hurt beyond belief. I find myself crying when my wife isn't around or when she's asleep. I'm not ashamed for her to see me cry. I just don't even have anything to say about it anymore. Why was my brother taken? Why is my other brother acting this way toward me and his family? Why is my sister living like this? I raised all of them to be so much better people. I really tried. I was a kid, but I was at every doctor appointment, school meeting, and IEP meeting. I worked 7 days a week at 2 jobs. I gave up on going to college so I could work and provide for them. It cost me so much time and effort. I regret not putting that time and effort into myself. I'm not where I want to be in life. I never imagined having a bad relationship with any of my siblings, especially the ones I raised. I feel like such a failure.